Exclusive contract with Feilu Fiction Network Novel. Mysterious Fantasy. Opening with Bear Child crossing the fantasy world and becoming the youngest inner sect elder of the Divine Heavenly Sect, activating the strongest apprenticeship system. As long as you receive an apprentice, you can obtain its enhanced version of talent and divine powers. Regarding this, Lin Xuan directly took action and said, "This master accepts disciples, why does anyone need to intervene? Accept the little girl and reward her with the heavenly swallowing divine skill." When Lin Xuan collected all the heavenly pride and found himself invincible in the world. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. The Strongest Apprenticeship System. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. The Strongest Apprenticeship System. Xiantian Domain, Xiantian Sect. Elder Lin Xuan, please take your seat here. A disciple respectfully said to the person next to him, who had an extraordinary temperament and a sword-eyed star eyebrow. Upon closer inspection, there was a hint of Daoyun flowing slowly on his body. Even under this natural force, the disciple dared not lift his head and look directly at his face. The latter nodded and slowly took his seat on the high platform, where there were only 5 seats like this. Elder Lin Xuan thinks that which of them can enter the eyes of the Dharma. Next to him, an elder with the same identity as Lin Xuan turned his head and asked, "He has an extraordinary status in the Divine Heavenly Sect and is the elder son of the inner sect." However, Lin Xuan did not immediately answer his question. His gaze swept over the thousands of disciples on the sect square, but there was a hint of confusion in his gaze. "I have actually traveled, and I have traveled to a fantasy world." Lin Xuan murmured slightly in his mouth. Because he was not originally a person from this world, he was originally a person from Blue Star, and he never expected that crossing this kind of thing would happen to him. Moreover, his current identity is an elder of the Divine Heavenly Sect, and he is also the youngest inner sect elder of the Divine Heavenly Sect today. You should know that in the Divine Heavenly Sect, only those who have reached the realm of Wang Ho are qualified to become the elder of the inner sect, and the elder of the inner sect in the entire Xiantian sect is only a handful. Wang Ho realm, as its name suggests, can achieve the existence of a local prince when placed outside. With the power to move mountains and seas, thousands of troops and horses are like ants. I didn't expect to pick up such a big leak. However, he naturally knew that there was a mountain outside the mountain, and even more so in the mystical world where the strongest were revered. Even Yigua, who is beside the Divine Heavenly Sect, has no less powerful than him. And above his realm, there is the realm of human kings where one person can conquer a dynasty, and naturally, the difficulty of breaking through is like reaching heaven. Even Lin Xuan is far from reaching such a realm. It can be said that without special opportunities, Lin Xuan is likely to stop here. However, even so, for Lin Xuan, who used to be accustomed to the wasteful beginning in fantasy novels, this was already a dreamlike beginning. Even in more powerful territories outside of the Xiantian domain, his strength was not top-notch. However, in the Xiantian domain, as long as the human king realm did not appear, his strength could already walk horizontally. Therefore, today, when the Divine Heavenly Sect accepts disciples, Lin Xuan, the young elder, naturally becomes the focus of everyone's eyes. Everyone wants to see which disciple this youngest elder of the Divine Heavenly Sect will be interested in. This will be an important event of the Divine Heavenly Sect's acceptance ceremony. While Lin Xuan was preparing to answer Elder Sun's words, a voice suddenly rang out in his mind. Ding! The energy has been collected, congratulations to the host for activating the Harvest and Strength system. Upon hearing this sound, Lin Xuan was slightly surprised. How could he not know what the system was? In any novel, this is equivalent to the existence of cheats. If there is systematic help, even in the realm of human king, there may still be hope. System, what functions do you have? Lin Xuan asked. Returning to the host, this system is called the Harvest Apprentice Enhancement System. As the name suggests, it aims to recruit disciples. As long as the host can successfully recruit disciples, they can obtain the talent of their disciples and receive system reinforcement. The stronger the disciple talent the host receives, the better the rewards the host will receive. I see. Lin Xuan nodded silently. Subsequently, Lin Xuan looked at the attribute panel that appeared in front of him. Host. Lin Xuan Realm. Wangho Realm Talent. None Technique. Divine Heavenly Skill. Why is my talent lacking? Lin Xuan asked the system with some surprise. Returning to the host, because the host's talent is too spicy, it is not included in the system. Upon hearing these words, Lin Xuan fell silent slightly. At such an age, he had already become the elder of the inner sect of the Divine Heavenly Sect, a powerful member of the Wangho realm, and could be said to be unparalleled. In the eyes of the system, this talent is actually spicy chicken. Master, here we are. The ceremony of accepting disciples officially begins. At this moment, a loud voice sounded, and the whole room fell silent. A middle-aged man appeared slowly on the high platform. Although his steps were not fast, he could still feel the aura of the supreme powerful Tao from him. The pinnacle of the Wangho realm. Master of Xintian sect. God knows no wind. On the square, these disciples with low levels dare not look directly at them, even in the presence of a naturally strong aura. And what they were even more curious about was the young and powerful man sitting on the high platform. They naturally knew that those on the 5 seats of the high platform were all the elders of the inner gate of the Divine Heavenly Sect. Is he also? Chapter 2. The Youngest Prince Elder. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. The Youngest Prince Elder. After the leader of the Xintian sect took his seat, the voices of discussion gradually increased below. Oh my goodness! Is this the leader of the Divine Heavenly Sect? Even in the entire Xintian domain, with the peak strength of the Wangho realm, apart from the strong ones in the Human King realm, it is difficult to meet opponents, right? A young man from a certain main city, upon seeing such a scene for the first time, looked surprised and said, in their place, the spirit transformation realm is already considered a strong one, but in the Divine Heavenly Sect, this kind of strength is simply not enough. Yeah. If only I could become the disciple of the sect leader. Next to him, there were other young people from afar who came to the Divine Heavenly Sect. They couldn't help but imagine that becoming a disciple of the sect leader would be a disciple at the peak of the Wangho realm, equivalent to soaring into the sky. But how could it be so easy for the sect leader's disciple? Don't you know that the leader of the Divine Heavenly Sect won't accept disciples this year? Another person said that he seemed to have a better understanding of the Divine Heavenly Sect than other teenagers. The sect leader does not accept disciples. For some unknown reason, when they heard this news, they felt a hint of joy in their hearts, as they did not have the qualification to become the personal heirs of the sect leader. And then, the previous person said. However, the focus of everyone's attention this time is on the young elder. If he could become his disciple. A few people around him could see that his gaze was filled with hope. That young elder. Everyone's eyes were slightly surprised. They had already seen the young and dignified person sitting on the high platform. They were curious about his identity before, and he could sit with several other elders. This seat can be said to be only below the sect leader. The high status in the Divine Heavenly Sect can be imagined. But they didn't expect that he would be an elder, and it seemed like he was also an inner sect elder. That's a powerhouse in the Wangho realm. At this moment, even if they were foolish, they understood the meaning of the previous person. With such a young elder in the Wangho realm, there is a great possibility that in the future, after the current sect leader Shen Wufeng abdicates, he will be the next sect leader. If the sect leader does not accept disciples this time, then becoming his disciple would probably be the best choice. No wonder so many people were silently watching his movements just now. Thinking of this, the gaze of these young men was all on this young elder, Lin Xuan. Elder Lin Xuan, how could so many disciples not even catch your eye? Elder son of the inner gate was slightly surprised when he saw that Lin Xuan had not answered for a long time. If it had been before, perhaps Lin Xuan would have received someone with good talent and pleasing looks from these disciples. But now that he has activated the system, it naturally cannot be so. He is now accepting disciples not for any inheritance, but for the purpose of making himself stronger. If he accepts a disciple who is even less talented than him, what is it? Although there is no upper limit on the number of disciples in this apprenticeship system, Lin Xuan still doesn't want to randomly recruit. Even before the test began, his gaze swept over the disciples on the entire square, and their talents had already appeared before his eyes. Innate fire spirit body. The innate water spirit body. Xianin body. You should know that with innate constitution, one is almost certain to cultivate a spiritual sea realm and become a strong presence. Even in a royal and Ho realm like Lin Xuan, if there is an opportunity, it is not impossible. Even a few of them looked as if Lin Xuan would definitely accept them as disciples. To their great surprise, Lin Xuan's gaze only lingered on them for a moment before moving away. Is there anyone more powerful than their talent? They had a slight doubt in their hearts. Physical constitution often matches the surface temperament extremely well, and they have not seen anything stronger than these innate bodies here. In fact, for Lin Xuan, it was not that these people had weak talents, but rather that under his apprenticeship system, he had no significance in accepting these disciples. At the moment when the acceptance ceremony of the Divine Heavenly Sect was taking place, a young boy with a charming and silly demeanor was running towards the location of the Divine Heavenly Sect, running at lightning speed. Although his physique was not strong, his face wore a resolute expression, and his speed was rapid. It is hard to imagine that such a small child would dare to come alone on this wilderness filled with monsters. You should know that the other disciples are their family elders who sent them to the Divine Heavenly Sect. Damn it! With this sky, the God Heavenly Sect's apprenticeship ceremony should have already begun. What if we can't catch up? The young man's face was full of anxiety. The reason why he came late was mainly because his village was too far away from the Divine Heavenly Sect, and he also encountered many obstacles from monsters along the way. Chapter 3. Shicun Youth. Born Supreme. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3. Shicun Youth. Born Supreme. Besides, on the side of the Divine Heavenly Sect, the entire apprenticeship ceremony has begun, and thousands of disciples below are eager to join the Divine Heavenly Sect, rapidly starting to work on testing projects one by one. Those who failed directly in the test had a look of regret on their faces. And these testing projects, for those with strong talents, have no difficulty at all. To put it simply, whether to accept an apprentice or not actually depends on their natural talent and physique. Setting up these things only allows those with weak abilities to understand the difficulties and retreat on their own. Boom! Quickly, at the final testing point, during the actual combat phase of the monster, a spiritual fire was seen spewing out. I want the innate fire spirit body. At the moment this firelight appeared, an elder had already recognized that it was an innate fire spirit body. Almost instantly, he spoke up to snatch this disciple, afraid of being snatched by others. If you speak first, it can give this disciple the right to choose you first. Almost as he finished speaking, another spiritual water rushed towards the other tiger demon in the field. Innate water spirit body. Would you be willing to enter my door? Xianin body, you have a connection with this elder. As the testing progressed, almost all of the talented disciples below had already begun to show their talents, and the elders gradually began to accept them. However, without being named by Lin Xuan, some genius youths had a slightly disappointed expression on their faces, but they dared not refuse those elders who had already spoken up. After all, opportunities were rare, and if they refused, they were not sure if Lin Xuan would accept them. Even though they were geniuses, they did not dare to hold them up. But what surprised everyone was that until now, there were not many disciples with strong talents, and at this moment, they were almost all selected by other elders. Lin Xuan still did not speak up to any disciples. Aren't he prepared to take in his apprenticeship? Even the face of the sect leader Shen Wufeng was slightly surprised. In fact, the quality of these disciples this time was quite good, and it was difficult for them to have such a large number of innate constitutions in previous years. The test has started, no entry allowed. At this moment, a sudden movement came from the entrance. Then, only a childish voice sounded. Our village is a bit far from here and it will take a long time to arrive. Can we accommodate it a bit? Everyone looked towards the commotion here, and saw a young man at the entrance, who was slightly younger than the majority of the people present. No way. Time has passed. The guard disciple spoke sternly. In the village. But when everyone heard the young man's words, their faces were slightly strange, and they even smiled faintly. They almost thought whose child had gone to the wrong place. Among these teenagers, which one is not the most outstanding among various city families? After all, it is quite difficult to join the Divine Heavenly Sect without certain talents, and they naturally do not believe that there is anything outstanding about the little guy from a village. After all, the probability of such a thing happening is too low. When everyone looked strange, Lin Xuan's expression was concentrated on this little guy, his eyes full of surprise. Because I saw this tiny talent information displayed in front of him. Name. Yi Hao age. 11 realm. None talent. Born Supreme Bone, digged, born Supreme Bone. Lin Xuan silently pondered these few words. As a person in the realm of kings and marquises, how could he not know what the innate Supreme Bone represents? Born Supreme. In this world, only certain individuals with unparalleled talents, upon being born and receiving immense favor from heaven, will possess the Supreme Bone. It signifies supreme talent, and more importantly, those who possess the Supreme Bone will surely become one of the supreme beings in the future. Achievements far exceed those of the king. A human king can destroy a dynasty, while the Supreme One can destroy a domain with one hand. This is much stronger than the innate water and fire spirit body. I don't know how many times it is. This is not a concept at all. How can it be compared in the same way? This moment made Lin Xuan feel that his recent wait was absolutely meaningful. Suddenly, Lin Xuan's heart became extremely excited. If he accepted Yi Hao as his disciple, it would mean that he could receive a strengthened Supreme Bone as a reward. Compared to my current unparalleled talent in the Divine Heavenly Sect, it's a world of difference. Just. But he also noticed the word "dug" behind the Supreme Bone. System, what exactly does it mean that this Supreme Bone has been excavated? He asked the system. Returning to the host, this represents that his innate Supreme Bone was forcibly removed from him by secret techniques and transplanted into someone else's body. The system replied. Has the Supreme Bone been forcibly transplanted? Lin Xuan's expression was slightly surprised. You should know that the Supreme Bone is bestowed by heaven, and if you want to plunder it, you will have to endure unimaginable pain when the bone is dug out. There is even a possibility of life-threatening situations, with a very low chance of survival. Even if he survived, his body would still suffer heavy damage. He looked at the little guy's resolute face and sighed slightly. What has this little guy gone through? However, the system, if his Supreme Bone is dug up, will I still receive a reward if I take him as an apprentice? Lin Xuan asked. Nature. After receiving a reply, Lin Xuan looked again and today, he confirmed the disciple. Let him in. On the high platform, Lin Xuan let out a faint shout. Chapter 4. This master accepts disciples, why do others need to intervene? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. This master accepts disciples, why do others need to intervene? As soon as Lin Xuan spoke, everyone present was slightly surprised. What is Lin Xuan's identity? He is the youngest feudal lord within the territory of the Divine Heavenly Sect. How could this little guy from the village, receive his favor? Upon hearing these words, the guard disciple naturally dared not refute and quickly put the little one inside. And Yi Hao looked at Lin Xuan with a grateful gaze, then thanked him. Thank you, big brother. Upon hearing this title, Lin Xuan smiled on his face. It seemed as he had said, he had grown up in a village, and his dark eyes were very clean and pure. All right. Hurry up and take the test. Lin Xuan replied. At this moment, Yi Hao instantly became the focus of the audience, and the other elders were all amazed. Even Lin Xuan didn't take a second glance at the young geniuses with innate constitution, but he was able to treat Yi Hao like this. But they couldn't see any signs of rebellious constitution from Yi Hao either. They don't believe that Lin Xuan would have a momentary kindness. At this point, most of the disciples have already completed the testing project. Everyone's eyes were focused on Yi Hao, not only because he was the only one left in the field, but also because they wanted to see what was special about this little guy. Those teenagers with innate bodies are even more so. If they don't see the results, they are very unwilling because even they couldn't let Lin Xuan take another look. Boom! In an instant, everyone only saw a loud roar behind Yi Hao, and his body rushed out like a sharp arrow. This speed! Seeing this scene, everyone's eyes were filled with shock. They didn't expect that this seemingly ordinary little guy could unleash such power, even compared to those few innate bodies, it was no less impressive. Even there is still victory. First level. Wooden Alley. We need to withstand the impact of the wooden man, and Yi Hao almost broke through the bamboo and quickly passed through. Second level. Arrow Forest. In this level, it is necessary to avoid being hit by arrows as much as possible, while Yi Hao passed through with an extremely fast body speed, without touching any arrows. And for him, the following mechanisms will be incredibly easy. At the final level, during the actual battle of the demon beast, everyone's eyes were already stunned. How dare they doubt Lin Xuan's gaze at this moment? In the moment they faintly lost themselves, bang. A loud bang rang out, and little Yi Hao in front of him had already punched the tiger demon's life gate, killing him with one blow. Even those few innate beings have never achieved it. This kind of battle, if not fought against monsters regularly, cannot reach this level at all. When the battle ended, everyone in the room was already stunned. Even if they hadn't seen Yi Hao using his spiritual power, the entire battle had already ended. After a while. Elder Lin Xuan, I'm sorry, I'm going to snatch this disciple. Elder Lin Xuan, I need to get involved too. Little one, what's your name? The elders began to frantically compete for the track one by one. However, Lin Xuan didn't care because he knew that if they found that Yi Hao had no constitution, they would naturally scatter in a swarm. Little one, why haven't you seen the power of using your constitution? What constitution are you? Meanwhile, an elder was puzzled and said. Upon hearing these words, Yi Hao in the audience said in confusion, Constitution. What is constitution? This little guy doesn't even know what his physique is. The crowd was slightly surprised. Whoosh! An elder flew forward, his palm resting on Yi Hao's back, and began to examine. For a long time. Everyone saw him with a regretful expression on his face, let out a slight sigh, and then said. Unfortunately. It's just a simple exercise. Wow! As soon as these words were spoken, the whole audience was in an uproar. The elders who had just said they wanted to take Yi Hao as their disciple also gave up one after another. If it's body refining, it can indeed achieve such an effect in the early stage. But a senior Taoist, his meaning is quite obvious. Without strong natural and physical support, he may not be able to go far. The elders were slightly disappointed, and the disciples seemed to feel a little better when they learned of this result. Elder Lin, you may have taken a wrong look this time. Elder Sun shook his head slightly and said. And just as there was a slight silence in the whole room and Yi Hao's expression was slightly lost, a voice came from above the high platform. Would you be willing to join my sect? Everyone heard the sound and realized that it was actually coming from Lin Xuan. Upon learning such a result, Elder Lin Xuan still wants to accept him as his disciple. The entire audience, including the elders, had an incredulous expression on their faces. The disciples with innate constitution and other disciples even had a hint of jealousy on their faces. Even the sect leader Shen Wufeng asked slightly, Elder Lin, do you really want to take him as your disciple? He also felt a bit unbelievable about this, but upon closer reflection, it was normal for Lin Chang to be so stubborn in his old age. That's why he spoke out to remind him, because this is a law. Without physical constitution, it is impossible to be strong. But Lin Xuan still nodded and asked again, are you willing to worship me as a teacher? Yi Hao's face in the field was pleasantly surprised, and he quickly bowed. Disciple Yi Hao, pay respects to master. Lin Xuan's face showed a slight smile as he nodded to Yi Hao. After the Divine Heavenly Sect accepted his disciples, they would perform a apprenticeship ceremony. Seeing that Lin Xuan insisted on doing so, the other elders didn't say much anymore, and the sect leader Shen Wufeng sighed slightly. And when everyone is fully prepared and the apprenticeship ceremony is about to take place. Hoo! I only heard a gust of dark clouds coming, and the dark wind howled. In the void of the Divine Heavenly Sect, a sudden wind and lightning struck, causing the heavens and earth to change color. Everyone turned pale. In an instant, a few people walked out of the void, their eyes burning with flames and their breath incredibly powerful. Upon closer inspection, there was actually one person among them who was a powerhouse of the Wangho realm. The royal family of Yi Kingdom. Some people are familiar with Yi Gua and seem to recognize their clothing. Seeing the appearance of these people, the sect leader Shen Wufeng slowly took a few steps, his face slightly frozen, and said, Yi Gua, a powerful member of the Imperial family. What are you doing here? He instantly transformed and recognized that these people were all members of the royal family of Yi. I have seen the Lord of the Kingdom God Heaven. The strong person in the royal and marquis realm first gave a salute, and then slowly said. Your Excellency, Master Shen Tian, we have nothing else on this trip, but Elder Lin cannot accept Yi Hao as a disciple. Although their voices were calm and polite, upon closer inspection, they seemed like commands. Everyone in the room is confused. The royal family of the Yi Kingdom, for no reason, why did they stop the elder of the Divine Heavenly Sect from taking in a disciple of Yi Hao? A member of the royal family of the state of Yi. Lin Xuan's gaze was slightly fixed and he pondered. He was originally very surprised, why did his Divine Heavenly Sect accept disciples and why did Yi Gua join in the fun? And soon, he obtained the answer from the system information. This royal family of the Yi family is none other than the former family of Yi Hao, who was once a member of the direct lineage of the Imperial family. And Yi Hao's supreme bone was also dug up by them. Now, Yi Hao has become his disciple. It can be said that this Yi family royal family dug up the supreme bone of his disciple. Although we don't know the specific reason behind it yet, let's just forget about it. Now, even Yi Hao has to take care of himself as a disciple. To understand this fact, Lin Xuan coldly said. When will it be someone else's turn to criticize me when I accept my disciples? Chapter 5. Get lost, or die. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5. Get lost, or die. Upon hearing Lin Xuan's words, the members of the royal family in the state of Yi were visibly stunned, and their faces visibly turned slightly sinister. He is a powerful member of the royal family in the state of Yi. When did he ever receive such a rebuttal? However, at this time, while he is in the Divine Heavenly Sect, the other party is still the inner sect elder of the Divine Heavenly Sect. As a powerful member of the royal family, he can only sneer and say. Elder Lin Xuan is not aware that Yi Hao is a sinner from our country and has committed a heinous mistake. Therefore, inviting him to join the Divine Heavenly Sect may have an impact on both the Divine Heavenly Sect and the Elder. Upon hearing these words, Lin Xuan said with a slightly cold expression. May I ask your excellency, what is this heinous mistake? The former, on the other hand, means. This is an internal matter of the Imperial family in our country of Yi. Why don't you tell Elder Lin Xuan? Lin Xuan smiled and said. How do I know if you want to take Yi Hao as your disciple without saying it? The faces of the powerful members of the Yi royal family have changed again. If it were normal, it wouldn't be a big deal. They are just an unimportant disciple. Many powerful forces still want to sell the face of the Yi royal family. And today, they can see that Elder Lin of the Divine Heavenly Sect definitely had no intention of doing so. He held back his last patience and said. Since Elder Lin wants to know, it's hard for us to refuse. Yi Hao's father, who once killed a member of our Yi royal family, is a traitor to our Yi royal family. Naturally, his descendants should be punished. This person naturally wouldn't reveal the secrets of the royal family, so he concealed a part of the true reason behind it. But from these words, Lin Xuan could hear something. He immediately understood what was going on with the matter of Yi Hao's supreme bone. It is very likely that in the beginning, Yi Hao was born supreme and was envied by the people of his clan, who dug out his supreme bone. Later, Yi Hao's father returned and angrily killed many members of his clan, which is why he was classified as a traitor by Yi Guo. This can also explain their words. On the entire square, almost everyone held their breath. The incident of the Yi Kingdom royal family had already shocked them. Moreover, this is a confrontation between two powerful princes in the realm of power. Oh! Why did Yi Hao's father betray your royal family? Lin Xuan asked with great interest. As soon as Yi Guoqiang spoke, he clenched his fists tightly and his eyebrows and eyes furrowed. Isn't this something that Elder Lin needs to care about? Because you have taken away Yi Hao's innate divine body. Lin Xuan's sudden words changed Yi Guoqiang's expression. Elder Lin. Don't talk nonsense. This matter is a secret of their royal family, almost unknown to others, but today it was revealed from Lin Xuan's mouth. How could they not be surprised? Although he directly denied it, his fleeting expression already explained everything. Yi Hao was born into the royal family's body and was taken away by the same clan. At this moment, everyone in the Divine Heavenly Sect was equally surprised to learn about this matter from Lin Xuan's mouth. A bunch of nonsense. Ha ha ha. Lin Xuan laughed twice. I still said the same thing. I accept apprentices, why do you need someone else to criticize me? So far. Both sides were completely torn apart, and Lin Xuan was too lazy to continue talking nonsense to them. Elder Lin, do you insist on opposing our country Yi? Yi Guoqiang's face was tense and gloomy. Opposing you? A group of shameless things. They have taken someone else's divine body and shamelessly sent a powerful nobleman to watch over it, which is rare. Today, as a disciple of Yi Hao, what can I do if I take it? Lin Xuan's gaze was sarcastic as he looked at these members of the Yi royal family. Digging out someone else's supreme bone, it seems that for some reason, they had to spare Yi Hao's life, and they even sent someone from the Wangho realm to keep an eye on him, in case Yi Hao would grow up. Lin Xuan had never heard of such shamelessness. Elder Lin, at a young age, you are already a strong member of the royal and marquis realm. Why should you mistake your future for this little beast? If Elder Lin agrees to us, we will surely have a heavy thank you. Besides, Elder Lin doesn't know the truth that wood is beautiful in the forest, and the wind will destroy it, right? Seeing that the previous request had not been effective in front of Lin Xuan, the powerful member of the Imperial family had to move out the Yi royal family behind him. He naturally knew that the leader of the Divine Heavenly Sect would not interfere in this matter, and how could Lin Xuan, who was just a prince at the beginning of the realm, confront his state of Yi? Although Yi Hao, whose supreme bone has been dug out, no longer poses a threat to them, they must eradicate all threats for their own son's path to the supreme realm. Hoo. Suddenly, a burst of spiritual power erupted in Lin Xuan's palm, and Yi Hao, who was present, was directly pulled to his side by his spiritual power. Just one action, Lin Xuan's decision is self-evident. Yi Hao, this disciple, has taken it. And Yi Hao, looking at the person next to him who was dressed in white and had an extraordinary charm, his face was full of emotion. In fact, he had already known about the excavation of his supreme bone when he was in the village, but he silently buried this matter in his heart and joined the Divine Heavenly Sect. He wanted to become stronger and one day return to the state of Yi. Unexpectedly, Yi Guo wouldn't even allow him to join a sect. Elder Lin Xuan, don't mistake yourself. The strong man in the marquee realm of King Yi shouted in a low voice. Regarding this, Lin Xuan only had a brief response of a few words. Get lost. Or, die. Chapter 6. The Imperial family of the state of Yi, but that's all. You are listening at novelfull.audio. When these words were spoken, the faces of the royal family of Yi Kingdom instantly turned extremely gloomy. They didn't expect that Lin Xuan would be so disrespectful, and even these words put them in an extremely awkward situation. As members of the royal family of the state of Yi, even if these words were spoken, they wouldn't leave or stay. Let's go. Your Yi royal family has been slapped directly in the face. As an imperial family, isn't it shameful? Stay. After all, Lin Xuan is the elder of the inner sect of the Divine Heavenly Sect, and his status is quite respected. If they directly attack Lin Xuan, where will they put the face of the sect leader, Shen Wufeng? Although the royal family of Yi Kingdom is powerful, they have not yet reached the point of directly disdaining the Divine Heavenly Sect. The whole scene was extremely quiet, and everyone watched the scene without speaking. Similarly, Shen Wufeng did not need his intervention at this moment. Moreover, he will not intervene to prevent it. Although the royal family of Yi is powerful, it will not let him chill the heart of this promising inner sect elder. The powerful ruler of the state of Yi had to turn his head to look at Shen Wufeng and say, Your Excellency, are the inner elders of the Divine Heavenly Sect such rude people? Although they were recruited by the Divine Heavenly Sect, this is related to the internal affairs of our clan. I hope you can learn from it. Knowing that moving out of the backstage was useless to Lin Xuan, this guy was determined to confront them. They had no choice but to tell the sect leader Shen Wufeng. But Shen Wufeng smiled and said, The envoy of the state of Yi is joking. Although Lin Xuan is a member of our Divine Heavenly Sect, we are both members of the Wang Ho realm. How can I intervene in the matter of his apprenticeship? As an elder, I have never easily trusted people. If it is really a matter of clan affairs, why not send an envoy to call the Emperor of Yi? I think Elder Lin will definitely understand. Without a trace, Yi Guo and his companions cursed inwardly. This guy made it clear that he didn't want to take care of this matter and didn't want to sell them face. Let Emperor Yi personally come. What is the existence of Yi Huang? The ruler of a dynasty is extremely esteemed. How could he possibly come here for a younger generation's apprenticeship? And it's still to prevent, what kind of system is this? It seems that this matter cannot be resolved. King Yi and Marquis Chang said in a slightly gloomy voice. But today, Yi Hao's apprenticeship must be stopped because it is their responsibility. Since Shen Wutian is unwilling to intervene, and even Lin Xuan is unwilling to stop, we will give it a try. At the beginning of Lin Xuan's mere royal and marquis realm, how dare he dare to confront our Yi royal family? After a little thought, the people of Yi state had already made up their minds and then said to Lin Xuan, Elder Lin Xuan, are you really going to act alone and insist on accepting him as your disciple? Today, we must take Yi Hao away. He questioned Lin Xuan again. Take him away. You might as well give it a try. Lin Xuan said coldly, at this moment, Yi Hao is already his disciple. It's just a pipe dream to have him hand over his disciple in person. This statement already indicates his attitude. Wait, delusions. At this moment, in the void of the Divine Heavenly Sect, swords and crossbows were already tense. The disciples below were shocked by the secret remedies of the Yi Kingdom, but they were also hastily retreating. If the two powerful lords in the royal and marquis realm were to fight, it was not a joke. Any aftermath could have taken their lives. Lin Xuan, today I will let you know that there is no one in the imperial family of our state of Yi who cannot be denied. As the words fell, with a loud bang, the powerful Yi King Ho had already taken action. Li Hua Jiujin. The king and marquis of Yi shouted loudly, and his divine sword had already swung towards Lin Xuan. Originally, this was on the territory of the Divine Heavenly Sect, and he shouldn't have made a move. However, the words of Shen Wufeng just now have already been clearly stated. Even for the sake of the face of the Yi royal family, he will at most not take action. Moreover, if the young master achieves the rank of human king or even the imperial realm in the future, it will only provoke his mere Divine Heavenly Sect. What can he do? Boom! Above the void, it was instantly covered by endless flames bursting out of spiritual power, surging towards the front. If I were to devour Lin Xuan in front of me directly. That's the Li Hua 9 swords of the Yi Kingdom royal family. Once, it was rumored that these Li Hua 9 swords could even fight beyond their level. I don't know if Elder Lin Xuan can handle this power. On the side, the powerful members of the big families who rushed from the surrounding area looked at the scene in the void and couldn't help but exclaim in surprise. They didn't expect such a thing to happen when they only sent the younger generation of the clan to participate in the entrance examination of the Divine Heavenly Sect. They naturally knew that Lin Xuan was known as the youngest prince and elder of the Divine Heavenly Sect today, but after all, he had just entered the kingdom as a prince, and the powerful princes of the Yi Kingdom, who seemed to have been immersed in the kingdom for a long time, could not easily handle it. Master. Elder Sun and others watched the scene and looked slightly at the sect leader Shen Wufeng, but the latter only watched the scene quietly and said, "It's okay." Although Lin Xuan may not be able to defeat the princes of the Yi Kingdom, it is unlikely that the other party wants to take Lin Xuan. Stupid. The Duke of Yi couldn't help but ponder as he saw Lin Xuan still standing in place under his 9 swords of Li Hua. In his view, Lin Xuan is just an arrogant person who has made breakthroughs at lightning speed, but has no practical experience in combat. He used the 9 swords of Li Hua from the royal family of the Yi Kingdom, and with the power of his initial success in the royal realm, even if encountering them in the middle of the royal realm, he had to retreat by 3 points. And Lin Xuan is just a newcomer to the throne, how can he resist it? The genius prince of the Divine Heavenly Sect is nothing more than that. Lin Xuan was instantly overwhelmed by the overwhelming light of the fire just now. I had a hard time eating at the Divine Heavenly Sect. At this moment, when facing Lin Xuan, the Yi King Ho couldn't help but mock me. Although it's not enough to kill Lin Xuan here, no matter what the other party says, they will still suffer serious injuries and cultivate for a long time. The so-called matter of accepting apprentices has become a joke. At this moment, everyone's gaze was tightly fixed on the sky full of flames. But at the last moment when the flames engulfed Lin Xuan, people only saw him extend a palm and suddenly slap it forward, facing the sky and fire. A voice slowly drifted out. It seems that you have chosen death. Chapter 7. Jue Tian Zhang. Defeat the prince with 1 palm. 2. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Faced with the royal 9 swords of fire, but standing still, is Elder Lin Xuan looking for death. In the eyes of everyone, after all, that was a prince of the Yi Kingdom's royal family, but in fact, his power was quite terrifying. You should know that the realm of kings and marquis is vastly different even at every small level. If it is the middle stage of the royal realm, it can be said to be a crushing existence for the early stage, and even in the same early stage of the royal realm, there is a considerable difference between being perfect and just entering. The princes of the Yi Kingdom's royal family possess moves such as the Lihua Nine Swords, which also have the power to fight against the mid-stage elder Lin Xuan is in danger. They only have such thoughts in their hearts at this moment. Suddenly, in Lin Xuan's outstretched palm, countless strong winds burst out from around him. I saw the surrounding void suddenly change color. An invisible pressure permeates. Rumble. It seemed as if countless divine powers were exploding in the void, and in an instant, the king and marquis of Yi couldn't help but feel an endless pressure all over him. This kind of oppression seems to be from within the bloodline. Make his royal bloodline tremble. Even, he had a feeling that he couldn't even look directly at Lin Xuan at this moment. Ah! Surrounding him, the other members of the royal family were not as strong in resistance as the princes. Under this sudden power, their divine consciousness sank directly. Although they are not the core bloodline of the royal family, they can still be considered to have royal bloodline. However, under this pressure, their eyes became unusually bewildered, as if they had lost their souls. What kind of magic is this? The head of the Divine Heavenly Sect couldn't help but shrink his gaze. He was intimidated by the sudden burst of power from Lin Xuan. Lin Xuan was personally cultivated by his Divine Heavenly Sect. How could he not know about Lin Xuan? But at this moment, his palm power made him feel like he knew nothing about Lin Xuan in front of him. How could it be? After a while, the Duke of Yi calmed down his affected divine consciousness, his eyes filled with endless shock. He exerted all his strength with the 9 swords of Lihua, but they were comparable to those in the mid-stage of the royal realm. At this moment, when facing Lin Xuan, it seemed as if my boundless divine fire had no power. Lihua Jiujin. Explode. Die for me. King Yi and Marquis were taken aback, realizing that the situation was not right. At this moment, there was no one who dared to underestimate Lin Xuan. He shouted loudly and directly used the strongest form of the 9 swords of Lihua, attempting to defeat Lin Xuan with the power accumulated in an instant. Boom! The sky filled with divine fire that had just filled the void exploded, and above the Divine Heavenly Sect, the heat waves continued to billow. The disciples below were almost burned by this fire, and the remnants of the powerful power of the Wangho realm. Even if these disciples were to be touched a little, they would inevitably die. Fortunately, the sect leader, Shen Wufeng, directly took action, with gusts of strong winds passing by, blocking the remnants of those powers. This was the only way to avoid tragedy. Hoo. At the same time, in the other palm of Shen Wufeng's hand, spiritual power had already condensed in his hand. Although Lin Xuan had shown more pressure than he had imagined just now, he still had a hint of concern. Anyway, Lin Xuan is the elder of his Divine Heavenly Sect. If there is any danger, he is ready to take action at any time. His spare time swept over Lin Xuan, but he saw that Lin Xuan had no fear at all, and his eyes remained indifferent. What surprised him even more was the child standing behind Lin Xuan, Yi Hao. With just this expression, Shen Wushan couldn't help but admire Lin Xuan's gaze. However, as a child who had just entered the practice, although his eyes were still a bit uneasy, he was able to remain so calm in the face of powerful people in the royal and marquis realm, which is by no means something that ordinary teenagers can achieve. It can be said that either he has a brain problem or he is a person with great perseverance, and the person in front of him, Yi Hao, is obviously not the former. However, upon second thought, Shen Wushan was relieved, because as Lin Xuan had said before, this son had already experienced the excavation of the supreme bone at a very young age and was able to survive. It was not surprising that he had such a mind. Looking at Lin Xuan again. Under the exploding fire, his expression remained unchanged. Next up. His outstretched palm gave a fierce grab towards the front and let out a soft moan. Jue Tian Zhang. This is exactly one of the divine powers of the supreme bone. The supreme immortal bone. That has been strengthened by the system. As soon as these 3 words are spoken, the entire world is filled with wind and clouds, and the void is constantly shaking. In an instant, the spiritual power above the Divine Heavenly Sect seemed to have been drained out in an instant, and all of it suddenly attacked Lin Xuan's palm. Rumble. Rumble. Surrounded by it, it seems like a deafening sound like 9 heavens above, ringing in the space. Boom. A huge spiritual vortex suddenly rose in front of Lin Xuan. Whoosh. The elders of the Divine Heavenly Sect and the sect leader Shen Wufeng stood up in an instant, their eyes filled with shock as they looked at the scene before them. Not good. After feeling this power, King Ye's pupils were filled with fear and his face changed greatly. Buzz. There was a confused sound in his ear, and then the scene in front of him seemed to suddenly change, as if he was in the midst of the 9 heavens hell for an instant. How could that be? How could he be so divine? King Yi lost his voice and said. At this moment, his previous confidence in Lin Xuan had been completely shattered, and this power, such supernatural powers, was something he dared not even think of. Pain. Pain and pain. On the body of the Duke of Yi, there was only one feeling. The endless spiritual power had not yet been struck by Jue Tian's palm, but it continued to penetrate his bone marrow like a drizzle. This person. Lin Xuan. It's definitely not something he can handle. Escape. He could no longer care about the other people around him, and the long sword floating in the void could not be retracted in time. He turned around and fully utilized all the spiritual power in the elixir field. Only in this way could he escape from Lin Xuan's palm. However, just as he had not escaped from the circle, Lin Xuan's palm calmly pushed forward, tearing apart the strong wind and making a roar. In an instant, it had already captured the body of the Prince of Yi. Puff. The other party suddenly spat out a mouthful of blood, their body like a broken kite, falling instantly from the void. Puff. The body of the Duke of Yi fell heavily on the ground, making a dull noise. This sound is like hitting everyone's heart. Prince of Yi. Defeated. They still remembered Lin Xuan's recent words. Get lost. Or, die. Just now, the Duke of Yi still didn't agree, but now looking at it again, it's extremely ironic. That's a Prince of the Yi royal family. Chapter 8. Prince of Yi, Death. 3 Changes Seeking. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. With just one palm, Lin Xuan defeated Jue Tian, who was also in the realm of Wangho. So, are the strong warriors in the royal realm fighting like this? Even in the same realm, the princes of the royal family in the state of Yi could not even move under Lin Xuan's command. So strong. Looking at the swaying figure in white clothes above the void, he, who was already extraordinary in temperament, now looks like a god in the eyes of everyone. At this moment, people only know what the youngest elder of the Divine Heavenly Sect, the Wangho realm, really is. The lingering power of the palm covering the sky and the void has slowly dissipated, but looking around, there are many drops of blood dripping down. Fragments of blood mist filled the air. That's just now, Jue Tian, who came with the king and marquis of Yi. Just now, everyone's attention was drawn to the Prince of Yi, who was covered by Lin Xuan's endless palm gang. It was only then that they realized that under Lin Xuan's palm, they had all become undead souls. They're dead. Gudong. Many people swallow a mouthful of saliva, but they are members of the royal family of Yi State. Elder Lin Xuan just said, kill or kill. Although they may not be core members of the Yi Kingdom royal family, killing them is bound to provoke anger from the royal family. Many people have already begun to hesitate and fear in their hearts. They never expected that such a thing would happen during the gathering ceremony of the Divine Heavenly Sect. What should the Divine Heavenly Sect do if they have a conflict with the royal family of Yi State? Although the Divine Heavenly Sect is strong and has several royal and marquis realms, the sect leader Shen Wufeng has the peak power of the royal and marquis realms. However, they also know better that the Emperor of Yi has the power of the human king realm. That's it. Beyond the realm of kings and marquises. Cough. Cough cough. A cough pulled their thoughts back. Their gaze turned towards that spot, and they saw King Yi lying on the ground, coughing up blood continuously. No. It can even be said to be blood essence. At this point, his face was completely devoid of blood. Lin Xuan's blow has already hurt his roots. Lin Xuan. You. How dare you do this? Aren't you afraid of the anger of my emperor? Exhausting all his strength, this Yi King Marquis no longer has his innate arrogance, there is only embarrassment. He is a strong man in the royal and feudal realm, he doesn't want to die. He also had to move out the Emperor of Yi and try to make Lin Xuan stop. At this moment, he dares not mention anything to stop accepting disciples. He just wants to survive now. Lin Xuan slowly lifted his palm and looked at him, saying, I have already given you the chance to survive, but you haven't cherished it. He has only two options for this Prince of Yi, go or die. Since he didn't roll away and still wanted to attack him, he would have to pay the corresponding price for doing so. Lin Xuan naturally knew that Emperor Yi was powerful, but since he was destined to accept Yi Hao as a disciple today, he would still provoke Emperor Yi no matter what. So why should he let go of the person in front of him? Does letting him leave today mean that Yi Huang won't have any more anger? Of course not. As long as Yi Hao is his disciple for a day, in the eyes of Yi Gua, he has already rebelled against them. For them, this is a dead end. Because Yi Hao's identity is too special. This is not something that can be solved simply by killing or not killing. Lin Xuan, the power of my emperor is beyond your imagination. If you stop, perhaps you can still retain a glimmer of vitality. The King Ho of Yi lay on the ground and roared again. Noisy. Lin Xuan pondered a moment, and his spiritual power had already gathered in his hand. The strong wind advanced, and in an instant, a fierce and unparalleled wind blade swung towards the King and Marquis of Yi. Lin Xuan, how dare you? The Prince of Yi immediately felt the breath of death approaching him and quickly shouted. But how can we recover the irreparable damage that has already been unleashed? His heart was beating violently, and he completely understood that Lin Xuan was a lunatic. He really dares to kill him. Can't it be? Is the other party really not afraid of the Yi Emperor behind him? He is just a mere early prince. Not good. The spiritual means had quickly arrived, and the Prince of Yi was sweating profusely, with a click. He grinned and bit his finger open, unleashing a magical force from his blood. Whoosh! I saw that after this action, the King and Marquis of Yi suddenly turned into a stream of light, causing everyone to exclaim in surprise. Bloodline's secret technique. Lin Xuan's expression twitched slightly. The method used by King Yi was the secret technique of bloodline, and he wanted to use this method to escape. He snorted coldly, do you want to escape? Did you escape? Since you want to stay, then stay. Boom. As he stirred his palm, he saw the same soaring spiritual light shining directly into the void, disappearing with a loud bang. How is it possible to escape under the power of the supreme immortal bone, an ordinary secret technique? If it weren't for Lin Xuan's incomplete fusion of the supreme immortal bone, this Yi King Marquis, under the pressure of the same realm's physical condition, wouldn't even have had the opportunity to cast secret spells. Ah! In the void, the Duke of Yi, who had just escaped using a secret technique, suddenly let out a scream. Lin Xuan! Lin Xuan! You can't kill me. I am the royal family of Yi Kingdom, you can't kill me. A mournful scream came from the void. Even the elders of the inner gate of the Divine Heavenly Sect suddenly came to their senses, and Lin Xuan really wanted to kill him. While shocked by Lin Xuan's strength, they quickly shouted. Elder Lin, no way. Boom. At the next moment, a burst of blood mist exploded above the front. The powerful rulers of the state of Yi did not even leave their complete bones behind. Wow! Waves of blood rain fell, countless grass and trees stained with bloodstains, and the entire land under the void was dyed red. The grass and trees swayed incessantly in the wind, as if they were lamenting the fall of the powerful in the realm of kings and marquises. In people's eyes, there was a floating red blood rain, and it took a long time for them to come back to their senses. The scene in front of them all tells them. King Yi, a powerful marquis, has fallen. Even under Lin Xuan's command, the royal and marquis realm of the Yi kingdom did not even leave a name behind. Until death, the central prince and marquis became an unknown person. The life light. The life light has gone out. Have their princes fallen down. At this moment, hundreds of thousands of miles away, the imperial court and ancestral hall of Yi kingdom. Not only do they worship their ancestors here, but there is also a hall with hundreds of flickering lights. These are the life lamps of the core members of the Yi royal family. Each member of the Yi royal family will leave a trace of their essence and blood, integrating into the life lamp. Once they die, it means that their life lamp will go out. Today, the lantern keeper watched with his own eyes the life lamp at the top, representing the powerful members of the royal family and nobles. One of them, after swaying slightly, completely extinguished. Chapter 9. Message returns. The Wrath of the Emperor. 4. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Report. Your Majesty, the lampkeeper requests to see you. Outside the palace, a voice rang out from Yiguo. The lampkeeper. What is he doing here? In the magnificent palace, a man exuding imperial authority sat upright on a dragon chair. His calm expression can make people feel the aura emanating from his body, making them unable to resist kneeling down and submitting. His eyes, just a glance, even the Wang Ho Jing would feel his immense pressure. The person on this throne is none other than Emperor Yi. Apart from him, there is no one in the entire country of Yi who has such an imposing presence. If it weren't for this lantern keeper coming today, he would probably have forgotten about the ancestral hall's destiny lamp, because after the controversy over Yi Hao's incident, the imperial family's destiny lamp had not happened for a long time. Upon learning that the lantern keeper had come, his brow furrowed slightly. Your Majesty. Your Majesty. Strong members in the royal and marquis realm are extraordinary after all. If an ordinary core member's soul light goes out, they will naturally carefully investigate the reason and then inform Emperor Yi. But the powerful princes are different, even the royal family of Yi state does not have many, and each one is cherished immensely. Therefore, their life and death need to be directly informed to Emperor Yi. If it weren't for Yi Hao's special identity, they wouldn't have sent a royal and marquis realm specifically to monitor this matter. There was a deep hatred here, and they wouldn't have known that since they couldn't kill Yi Hao, they couldn't let him grow, even if his supreme bone is no longer there. This possibility is only 1 in 10,000. This is the cruelty of the big family in their actions. Even if Yi Hao lost his value, he would be considered worthless, and they would even deprive him of the right to practice. Speak up. Yi Huang looked at the expression of the lantern keeper, as if something had happened, his eyebrows and eyes slightly furrowed. The lantern keeper, under the authority of Emperor Yi, dared not look up and could only tremble and say. Your Majesty. Yi Su. Prince Yi Su. Yi Su. What's wrong with Yi Su? Yi Huang remembered that Yi Su was sent to monitor Yi Hao, wasn't he? Marquis Yi Su. His life lamp has gone out. The lantern keeper's voice trembled slightly as he spoke. What? Upon hearing these words, Emperor Ye's expression suddenly changed, and the life lamp went out, which meant falling. The fall of the powerful in the Wang Ho realm is not a small matter for him, and their entire royal family cannot actually find too many. Just like the Divine Heavenly Sect, the vast sect is already quite famous within a radius, with only 6 leaders. Yi Su was just staring at Yi Hao, how could he sacrifice his life? How did Yi Su die? The expression on Yi Huang's face was instantly filled with anger, as if asking the lamp keeper, and also as if asking himself. On this territory, someone dares to plot against his royal family and princes. My lord. I don't know. The lantern keeper replied in a low voice, knowing that his majesty was on the brink of an outbreak, and the death of a prince was a major event of the clan. Whoosh! Immediately after, Yi Huang ignored the lantern keeper and disappeared into the original place, before appearing in the temple. Among the many flickering life lights, the already extinguished life light appears particularly evident. Almost at a glance, Emperor Yi saw the soul lamp representing Yi Su. Who? Emperor Yi extended his palm towards the life lamp and directly grabbed it with spiritual power. Yi Huang's expression was extremely solemn, his palm covering the soul lamp, and a beam of light appeared above the life lamp. For a long time. Yi Huang's voice said coldly. Shentian sect. Lin Xuan. Boom. After learning this information, a strong wind erupted in place, and his figure had already disappeared in an instant. Over the temple, an unparalleled spiritual power burst out, leaving only a phantom with divine light. In just one breath, that figure had already reached thousands of miles away. Your Majesty. It's Your Majesty, what's going on here? The Imperial family, because Emperor Yi did not deliberately conceal his breath, many powerful individuals noticed this movement. Just such a detail, they knew that Emperor Yi was angry. Moreover, Emperor Yi has not used such spiritual power for an unknown number of days. I don't know what to do with this trip. Speaking of the Divine Heavenly Sect. When the blood mist of the Yi Emperor and Marquis Yi Su had dissipated, the shock that the previous scene had brought to everyone had not yet subsided. Anyway, they understand the fact that King Yi has really died. At this moment, many people have begun to silently retreat. Although the Divine Heavenly Sect is strong, there is still an emperor in the state of Yi. Because at this time, if the emperor personally initiates a rebellion, the Divine Heavenly Sect may face immense difficulties. Master. Master, I have caused you trouble. Yi Hao had an unbearable expression on his face and whispered, he understood that this matter was all caused by him. If Lin Xuan hadn't done it for him, he wouldn't have offended this huge Yi royal family. However, Lin Xuan said, don't mention this. If you want to regain everything that belongs to you, practice well. Suddenly, Yi Hao understood Lin Xuan's meaning. He had just said that, intending to make his master give up on him, but Lin Xuan immediately blocked his words, which moved Yi Hao's heart deeply. He silently swore in his heart that he would succeed in his future cultivation and make Yi Guo understand everything they have done. Elder Lin. Hey. You're confused. The other elders sighed, how do they know what the death of the Duke of Yi means? This means angering Emperor Yi. That powerful existence that has already set foot in the realm of the human king. Lin Xuan didn't answer the elders, but turned to look at the sect leader Shen Wufeng and said, Sect leader, Lin Xuan wants to withdraw from the Divine Heavenly Sect. Please complete it. His intention is very obvious. He withdrew from the sect in order to avoid being implicated. After all, Lin Xuan also knows that the royal family of Yi State cannot be easily reconciled. However, he has a system reward for the supreme immortal bone. After he stays away for a period of time, the human king realm is just around the corner. After Lin Xuan's words fell, the sect leader Shen Wufeng, who had not spoken for a long time, stood up, moved his clothes lightly, and slowly said. You Lin Xuan can protect a disciple, can't our Divine Heavenly Sect still protect an elder? A indifferent sentence has already indicated his entire attitude. Because of a state of Yi, drive away such a prince and elder. He is so calm that he wouldn't do such a thing. Boom boom. Suddenly, there was a thunderous explosion in the sky, and the entire void suddenly changed color. Even the originally pure sky turned into a fiery cloud-like color. This is the anger of the strong. Next up. A sound came rumbling from the sky. God has no wind, do you want to give you an explanation for this matter? The sound was not loud, but it made everyone's hearts suddenly cold and loud. Chapter 10. My Divine Heavenly Sect accepts apprentices. Who are you, Emperor Yi? You are listening at Novel Full.audio. A supreme aura instantly covered the surrounding void, followed by a figure emitting a domineering aura appearing in the void. Emperor Yi. How could Shen Wufeng not recognize who this figure truly belongs to? A person with such power can only be in the realm of the human king, and in such a realm, it can only be Emperor Yi. Shen Wushen, you should give me an explanation about this matter, right? Emperor Yi reiterated once again. The circumference of Emperor Yi's body naturally released pressure, and even so, everyone dared not speak under such pressure. Not to mention them, even the sect leader Shen Wufeng can feel pressure invisibly. I don't know what the reason is for Emperor Yi's visit to our sect. Shen Wufeng said with a surprised expression on his face. Intentionally pretending to be foolish in front of Emperor Yi, Shen Wufeng is probably the first one, and only he dares to do so. He naturally cannot directly admit that what they killed by the Divine Heavenly Sect wouldn't that just give Emperor Yi the initiative? God without wind, I, the King Marquis of Yi, died in your Divine Heavenly Sect. You don't think I don't know, do you? Yi Huang said coldly. In fact, as a human king realm, this God without wind is in such a state that he really wants to slap it to death, but he still endured it. Oh. I, the Divine Heavenly Sect, did indeed die in an extremely weak royal and marquis realm, but I have never heard of any princes from the state of Yi. Your Excellency, the Emperor, I am truly sorry. Shen Wufeng continued to say so. Lin Xuan didn't speak. Since the sect leader said he could solve it, he wouldn't be able to intervene at this time. If there was really no other way, even if he burned the power of the supreme immortal bone, he would have to repel the Yi Emperor. After the big deal, just accept the apprentices and receive rewards. After the sentence, God without wind, is spoken. Yi Huang's face changed noticeably. In front of him, Shen Wufeng seemed to have ignored his words and said, Shen Wufeng, let me ask you for the last time. Lin Xuan of your Divine Heavenly Sect killed the prince of our country of Yi. Do you think I don't know about this? How do you explain it? After speaking, his momentum was slightly outward, and he was already on the brink of explosion. As the words had already been spoken, Shen Wufeng knew that the Yi family's royal family probably had some kind of secret method that could make Yi Emperor vaguely know what was happening here. Otherwise, he wouldn't have come so fast either. He said bluntly, Emperor Yi, the princes of your tribe have come to our sect to threaten our God Heavenly Sect elders and have taken action against them first. Is it still our fault? Faced with the powerful realm of the human king, the sect leader Shen Wufeng remains very humble and unassuming. Yi Huang's expression slightly changed. After all, the Divine Heavenly Sect was not a cat or a dog. If the Prince Yi Su of his clan acted without any reason, even he would naturally not have gained any reason. But he naturally knew that this matter would not be as simple as what God Wu Tian had said. According to the clan's secret law, the information obtained from the Marquis Yi Su was only a few words, but he also understood that this Yi Su was used to monitor Yi Hao. If he had an accident, it was likely related to Yi Hao. So Emperor Ye's divine consciousness was released, and soon he noticed that the young man behind Lin Xuan was none other than Yi Hao. His perception of the sea was slightly moving, and based on this information, after all, he was a strong person in the human king realm. It was easy for Emperor Yi to guess what was happening here. With a cold gaze in his eyes, he looked at Lin Xuan with an endless pressure and walked towards him. Are you Lin Xuan? Do you know that you can also intervene in the internal affairs of the royal family of the Yi kingdom? However, at the same time, his gaze also swept over Shen Wufeng. He naturally did not believe that a presence in the early stages of the royal realm could kill Yi Su, which was almost impossible. Therefore, he instinctively believed that Shen Wufeng had intervened in this matter. Speaking this to Lin Xuan is actually a shocking response to Shen Wufeng. After all, it was the realm of human king, and under the strong pressure and influence, even Lin Xuan found it quite difficult to bear. He endured such pressure and said, "Emperor Ye's words are a joke. How dare we interfere in the internal affairs of the noble royal family? It's just our God Heavenly Sect's apprenticeship ceremony, and it's not something outsiders can interfere with, right?" Lin Xuan's words directly took Yi Huang's words back to the original route. "Since you don't allow others to interfere in any imperial family affairs, but our apprenticeship ceremony is held within the sect, why do you have any reason to interfere with us? If possible, your royal family is quite skilled in playing double label." Yi Huang's eyebrows and eyes were slightly frozen. It was quite surprising that he could maintain such a posture even under his pressure in the early stage of this limited royal realm. Sharp teeth and sharp tongues. Disturbing the internal affairs of my royal family, I will be punished. Harming my royal family princes, I will be killed. Today, even if he dares to oppose their imperial family and accepts Yi Hao as his disciple, he can be directly sentenced to death by Yi Huang, and Lin Xuan has already angered him. It's been a long time since I made a move, but some people have already forgotten about me, the character Yi Huang. Yi Huang pondered a moment. He is not only going to kill Lin Xuan, but also knocking on entities like Shen Wufeng, which can be considered a warning to the monkeys. The Divine Heavenly Sect refused to even sell the face of accepting disciples to other emperors, which made him even more angry. Subsequently, his endless spiritual power condensed in his hands, and his eyes were slightly cold. In an instant, he was about to rush towards Lin Xuan. Just. A voice suddenly shouted, "He's right. The disciples who have entered our Shintian sect are related to our Shintian sect. I don't care if he's related to your Yi Kingdom royal family, but when our Shintian sect accepts disciples, this is our Shintian sect's matter. I, the Divine Heavenly Sect, accept disciples. Why do we need someone else to intervene? Crazy. Outside the Divine Heavenly Sect, after Shen Wufeng said these words, everyone held their breath and every cell in their bodies trembled. Just now, Lin Xuan killed the elders of the Yi royal family, and they felt crazy enough. At this moment, Lin Xuan and Shen Wufeng dared to speak in front of the Yi Emperor. Are they really not afraid of Emperor Yi getting angry? That's a powerful person in the human emperor realm. Lin Xuan was just young and energetic when he first became a prince, but surprisingly, Shen Wufeng said the same. P.S. If you have something to do tonight, I am already working hard on coding. I will code it when I stay up late at 10 o'clock.